I'm Ariam, and these are my favorite books that I read in December of 2025. So, wow, these are all kid books. So, starting off with the oldest one is Shazam and the Seven Magic Lands, 2019, number 12 by Jeff Loveness. So, this doesn't really matter. It's not technically number 12 in the series, but isn't part of the main plot. It shows us actually when Shazam first became Shazam. It shows us one of his adventures. And I really, really, really liked it. I thought Jeff Loveness is really got down who Billy is. And yeah, I loved Jeff Loveness's characterization of Billy Batson, who is Shazam. If you don't know, Billy Batson is the person behind the superhero. So, and I love Billy Batson. So, yeah. Then, going down a rung, I read Chaim al Pi Yinon by Nadav Naveh, or Life According to Yinon by Nadav Naveh. This is Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Big Nate style book, where we have text with illustrations. And it follows our main character, Yinon. He's writing, and it's actually his diary, and it's following one semester of the school year. And his teacher says that they're going to record every good deed a kid does, and they'll give them a point for that, and if they do a bad deed, they'll take off a point, and then whoever wins, gets the most point, gets a prize. So he and his friend are really enthusiastic about this, and they're trying to do as many good deeds as possible and as few bad deeds as possible, and basically they're trying to win, right? And I thought it was really funny and just such a fun time. I thought it was a really fun time, and I loved following Yinon and his adventures and his friends. I also read Bigger Than a Bread Box by Laurel Snyder. This actually might be, yeah, this is for, I don't know. Anyways, this is another middle grade, and it's a fantasy where our main character, her parents separate, and she is taken very suddenly to live 12 hours away with her grandmother. And she is understandably angry about this. And then she finds a bread box, and every time she wishes for something that can fit in a bread box, when she opens the bread box, it is there. So I really like the story because the everything felt so good together. Like what was happening in her life that wasn't magic and what was happening in her life that was magic fit so well together. And like obviously like they influenced each other. It wasn't two separate stories, it was one story. I also found the story very interesting. And I also like that the ending wasn't like, oh, everything's gonna be okay now. But things might not be okay, but now I know how to deal with stuff. So yeah. And finally, I read Way Too Many Latkes, Chanukah and Chelm by Linda Glazer, illustrated by Alexander Zolotik. It kind of feels weird to film this because I literally just filmed the December wrap up, but yeah. So this is a picture book that is a tale of Chelm. If you don't know what Chelm is, it's a real town in Poland that was actually known before the Holocaust for how scholarly the Jews were there. It was a Jewish town before the Holocaust. But for centuries, there have been stories about how all the Jews there are fools, right? And so and just like silly stories. So this is one about a woman who forgets her latke recipe, so she keeps on sending her husband to ask the rabbi, who happens to be very hungry, how many of each ingredient she should put in the latkes. And it is so funny, so chelmy, and I had the greatest time reading it, and I cannot recommend it enough.